welcome to yet another beautiful and exciting episode on your front row seat to the voice and innovations and bold ideas shaping the future adolescents of health across the country. This is your one and only Faith, your host, Princess, of course, that word, and we are live from the vibrant heart of Lusaka, Zambia, right here at the 2025 Adolescent Health Indaba. I am joined by, he's I don't know if he's an introvert, but he's a very, very serious man when I look at it from this angle. I hope that he smiles for me before the end of this show, guys. We're joined by Professor Dancan Irungu. He's the Director, Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Amref International University. I don't know if I said it right, but maybe because he's dealing with entrepreneurship and innovation, and as young people always want to joke about making money. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm alright.
You don't want to smile for me?
That's the best I do when I smile.
Which one is that? Okay, at least I got a smile out of his face, guys. That is something great. Yay! I'm proud of myself. I don't know if you are, but I am proud of myself. Well, I'm glad to have you on the show. Apart from the introduction that I gave, maybe I missed one or two words. So first, I'll just love you to talk to people that are watching. Just tell us about yourself in a very few words.
Thank you. Like you said, I'm Professor Dancan Irungu. I work for Amref International University as the Director, Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Amref International University is a Pan-African university, fully owned by Amref Health Africa. We are a Pan-African with a lot of focus on development of health workforce for the continent of Africa. It is extremely pleasant to be in this space with young people. The future of our continent is in the hearts of young people. It is needless to say that we're in the continent which hosts the highest population with the highest demographic dividends for the young people, youth bulge. And therefore, when you have a conversation that brings youth together in a forum like this, you are right walking into future space. It is more than the programs you have. It is more than the great speakers who are in there. The young people who are sitting in those forums by themselves, this is the future that we are looking at.
Getting started down to my script, I just want you to let us, fuse us in. What has been your experience so far? It has only been a few hours since the start of the RAHi. How's been the energy? What has been your experience so far? Being you coming as a youth, for as long as you are here, you are a youth professor. Being a youth, and of course, standing on
very old. You don't have to describe it further. I'm youthful.
Yes, please. And also being one of our sponsors, Amref, coming from that space as our sponsor, and of course, just as an individual. How would you rate the experience of the RAHi so far?
Incredible. Having attended not few convenings which have got probably same breadth, though we are just taking off, you can be able to tell there is something different. For me, number one, who are the young people sitting here, drawn from different countries in our region, but also who are the stakeholders. I have seen very senior government officials here, development organization, youth themselves. You have communities. That combination tells you are looking at conversations that don't just aid at the convening. Hopefully you will be able to get these engagements and conversations moving to policy level, so that then you are not left with the good excitement and good energies and good passions But besides that, you want to see what comes as sustainable outcomes. And I have got a feeling that when you look at who are the people, that's going to happen. But the other thing, and it is equally important, is the hope. Is the hope that that fills the air. Augustine, it's St. Augustine who said, hope has two daughters, a daughter called anger and a daughter called courage. If you needed to change anything, including an employment challenge, that which you are having among the youth, you must get the stakeholders involved very angry about the situation. You and me. The beginning of meaningful engagements at our personal life story is when you are going through a situation that which demands change without choice. So when policymakers, when scholars, when development organizations who have supported these convening sit and they listen to the stories of young people with brilliance, knowledgeable, top skills, incredible capacities. You hear them speak, the way they are able to share their story, the contribution. Then it starts to hurt you when you learn that they are not necessarily doing something productive. And then thereafter, courage. So we must have courage, and that's also the challenge which to IP continuously should be able to absorb. That past these, how courageous are we to roll out programs and to roll out interventions that which creates opportunity for absorption of our young people in health ecosystem. Of course, employment is one thing, advocacy for health, living, etc. Would be the other. But we must be hopeful. We must have courage. I have seen that demonstrated very well.
Great.
Yeah.
So does it mean the RAHi is in line with what you were expecting at least?
The answer is yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, finally, this is my last but not the least question. As Amref, and also as an individual who has attended the RAHi, at this point, you're going to speak for both Amref and yourself. What impact does the RAHi hold on you as a person and as Amref that you can tell for now? And
that's a good question. I mean, within a short time is probably not possible to be able to tell what Amref does. Okay. But just to say, we're in the university owned by Amref Health Africa. Amref Health Africa runs programs in more than 5 countries in the continent of Africa. Programs that which speaks a lot to health, social determinants of health, impacting and creating lasting health change for our communities. And therefore, what you are doing completely aligns with what Amref as an institution stands for. Amref has also got entities that which operate as social enterprises, like now Amref International University, Amref RAHi daughters. Picture this: the continent of Africa has the largest disease burden globally, known. But only 1% of the global health budget is in Africa. 1%. Though it is the continent with the highest population, only 3% of health workforce is in Africa. It is complete inequality all over in balance. That is the space we are looking forward to filling. As a university, and that is the reason why I'm saying this aligns very well with what we are doing. We are having the awareness of what health entrepreneurship does. A graduate who has done BSc in physiotherapy, like many other health professional programs, they would take nursing, etc. They would take 3 years to get absorbed into the marketplace. But when you have got physio skilling at home-based care level, a graduate that has done physiotherapy, they have got capacity to respond to physio needs at the community level. And what they need, 80% of what they need, it is not a facility, it is not medical equipment, it is not, nothing, skills. But to be able to build a product that which is needed in the marketplace, you need to have, other than the technical training, medical health training, you need to have entrepreneurial training.
That's true.
Health entrepreneurship solves health needs at the community level, but in a way which also earns revenue for the people who are offering that service. It's a very good intersection place. And therefore, I have seen in the program, you're even having a masterclass, looking at something like bootstrapping. How do healthcare, small startups attract resources to do their healthcare business, not with millions, with little resource, beginning even with networking, knowing how to pitch for a good idea to investors who are in the room. And therefore, I see these aligning completely, with what we are having. We are running a very interesting program, very profound program supported by MasterCard Foundation, Africa Health Collaborative. Indeed, what is supporting this program here is Africa Health Collaborative. We are running these supported by MasterCard Foundation and other 9 partner institutions in the continent of Africa, and one in Canada.
Okay,
so
great.
Hopeful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And before I get to the last questions, I say last but not the least, what are your expectations out of this year's RAHi with the theme that we are riding on? Of course, expectations from the young people.
That there will be genuine, authentic, and real conversations which moves outside a dialogue like this, a podcast like this, looking at the real numbers and the commitments that all of the people who are involved in the value chain are willing to take up. I've seen members of parliament here. Policymakers. What must we consistently do to create opportunity for our young people to get meaningful, dignified, fulfilling jobs? What are we willing to do in our ecosystem to support healthcare entrepreneurs? What are we willing to do in the ecosystem to provide access, to care? So that when we spin this conversation, then this conversation don't just end at that place. Conversations, they don't only end at resolutions. How do we completely create a convergence that which says, we came for this convening, 600 youth were in attendance. 2026, as we plan for the next one, then we are saying out of the conversations that which we had here, we got 300 jobs, meaningful, fulfilling, created.
Right.
We got different indicators that which would be able to measure progressive health outcomes achieved. We would be able to have real stories of change. These youth, I have, I'm enthusiastic by health innovations. So when you see the demos and you see the products that which the youth are showing case for, I really look forward, out of those pitches, out of those demos, how do we get those interventions monetized so that you create value for the innovators, but also you create impact at the community level.
Well, at this point, I'm going to ask you to speak your heart message to the young people. Away from my script, just you. What is your message to the young people that are watching you today? But before I do that, are you promising us, the young people, that Amref is open to always come in and help the young people when need arises?
I don't want to say yes or no, but I want to give a practical a pathway in that program which you've talked about. One of the commitments which you have had, we have made as Amref, in that Africa Health Collaborative, is to create 1,000 jobs for young people by the year 2027.
That is fair enough.
I mean, a lot of young people who are doing demos here, they have received the seed capital from Amref.
Great.
That program. And therefore, we are truly, we are working with young people. And I wouldn't say this for Canela. I'm saying this because it is a commitment that which we have as Amref.
Yeah.
We have no doubt that the young people in the continent of Africa holds the key to the next big thing that happens in the continent of Africa.
That's true.
In terms of human resource, but also in terms of economic development. I want to without any contradiction, say that any organization, not just Amref, which has no significant, purposeful, well thought out plan around working with young people, that they may not be the providers of choice for solutions that which we need in the 21st century. Now you ask me to speak to the young people.
Yes, heart to heart.
Now this is my heart.
My heart to yours.
To you. The youth of the continent of Africa. There is no doubt whatsoever that you have got all that it takes. The training, the hope, the capacity, the ideas. The whole continent of Africa is in your hands. There are many challenges that presently many countries in the continent of Africa are experiencing. Part of that is unemployment. A lot of you have gone to school and you have done good school. There is an open check that you have on the table. As everybody else in the ecosystem, including, say, the government, looks at how that can possibly happen, getting you placed in meaningful employment, look around from where you are at and look at little things that you can be able to do. For those of you who have got good education, sometimes we say, and I'm a professor, and education is good, that is what I do to earn my living. I interact with young people, but we say sometimes when people are not careful, education can also stop them. When you have gone to school and you think the only thing that which you can do is being employed. Look at what you can be able to do with your own hands look at the skill sets that which you have been able to develop and what that can be able to converge into enterprise development. Among all things, don't give up. A lot of premium institutions that which we see, and even people that have walked the journey, they have done it progressively. A step at a time, a day at a time. There is hope. Thank you.
Okay, that was your front row to the voices. And of course, in my own words, I would say, if you are looking for opportunities, go out there and look for them. Opportunities will never follow you at the comfort of your home. The world is willing to accommodate those that show up to it and are willing to carry on what duty calls for. Until next time, bye.